right, welcome back, everybody. So we're on agenda item 6C, discussion and possible action, including possible direction to Executive Office to perform assessment of Economic Development and Financing Corporation, EDFC, documenting total county contributions and return on investment. So Supervisor Williams is a sponsor. Supervisor Williams?
It's been since the mid-1990s that the county has set, best I can tell, has set goals for EDFC. I asked Deputy CEO Darcy Antle how much we've contributed to date. She believes about $883,000. If you look at the general fund contributed by the cities that are participating, it's over $1 million of discretionary funds from local government. I think it's appropriate every so often to evaluate whether the goals are still appropriate and whether we're meeting the goals. And so this item basically asks staff to confirm that $883,000, put a little bit more work into making sure that includes all of the contracts to date, and also document the return on investment. What are the successes? Are we on track? Is there anything that we need to change in the arrangement or the goals?
Okay. And the annual contribution is, I believe, $30,000 a year?
Chair Haschak, it's $32,500 has been what we've been
$32,500.
giving them. And then we worked with them, with EDFC and with West Company this year, and both agencies got two-year contracts for $50,000 each year to do economic development with recovery.
Okay. Thank you. Any further comment? Okay, any comment from the public? Seeing none, we'll go back to the board. Is there a motion? Supervisor Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, I think that EDFC has done a good job in the past. We have two representatives, is that correct, that sit on EDFC?
Right.
Okay. And I believe those are the two that should be evaluating. I'm hearing what Supervisor Williams has to say. And are you the other appointee?
Well, it's Supervisor Williams and yourself now.
Oh, I'm on there?
Yes.
Well,
No, it was Supervisor Jurdy.
Oh, okay. Huh? Okay. I've actually never served, so I just get the reports that come back. But I know that both of these entities have accessed considerable other funds in the past to be able to use to our benefit here in the county. And certainly West Company has been wonderful throughout the years. But that's why I'm looking to those that serve. Supervisor Williams, it's his first year serving, and it appears he's going to have another year. And so I would like to hear from Supervisors Jurdy, McCowan, who has served in the past, I think, and still serves as an alternate. I'd like to hear their comments.
So as of this morning, I will be the second appointee to there, but I too have never served on EDFC.
Okay.
So this will be new to me, and but I agree with you that we've seen substantial grant funds brought into Mendocino County through EDFC and economic development, but I think there's nothing wrong and perfectly sensible in doing an analysis of their work, and I'm looking forward to joining this board for the first time and learning more about what they do.
Supervisor McCowan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, any agency should welcome an examination of, are they fulfilling their mission? Are they effectively pursuing their stated purpose? So I think that's one place to start is, what is our performance agreement with EDFC? I believe we have a contract with them for a scope of services, so that's part of the review. Are they fulfilling the current scope of services? But also in measuring the, quote, return on investment, a lot of the benefits could be intangible. So we all know they're in the business of making loans. These are often, EDFC is often in the position of being lender of last resort. It's to assist people who either seek to expand or to start a business that don't have access to conventional financing. So by definition, these tend to be high-risk loans. There's an effort to secure collateral, but there are loans that do go bad and wind up being written off. But so part of the assessment is those loans that have been successful and have resulted in assisting businesses to grow or expand or to start, and what has been the benefit cumulatively of those businesses to the local community. What taxes have they resulted in paying? What increased in property tax value, number of people employed? But there's also other ways in which EDFC seeks to promote business. I think a lot of people contact EDFC as a resource on, I'm thinking of starting this kind of business, what properties are zoned appropriately and that type of thing. So, I mean, I think there's a lot of value potentially to EDFC that won't necessarily show up on the bottom line or a bottom line analysis. So I think we just have to keep that in mind.
And as a board member of EDFC for the past year, I was really pleased with the trajectory of EDFC. I think they were much more aggressive in hiring a loan officer who was going out and recruiting people, and these are people, like Supervisor McCowan said, who have been rejected by the traditional bank loans, and so it is high risk, and so I think they were doing a lot of good work in getting their books in order, because they have some bad loans on record. So anyway, it is an analysis of that kind of stuff is certainly worthy, and I think that what Supervisor Brown said about the supervisors who are on that committee doing that work too. So Supervisor Brown.
Yes, and then I'd like to ask the CEO, do we have the staff capacity to actually do this work or lead it?
CEO.
Yeah. Chair Hashtag, Supervisor Brown, thank you for that question. And actually, we have been looking at this because we've been working closely with EDFC and also with West Company. So this is not new for us to look at the money that EDFC has brought in, what the return on that investment is, what they do. And really, we should be looking at all of our contracts and any of the outcome measures in those contracts. So to answer your question, yes, we've already started doing some of this just based on the work we've been doing with EDFC and West Company, so it's not a problem. Thank you.
Supervisor McCowan.
And one more thought, it might be appropriate to also solicit information from our partners in the formation of EDFC. So the 4 cities, we should probably do outreach and ask them what is their perception of EDFC and their experience.
Okay. Do we have a motion on the floor? Okay. Supervisor Williams.
I would move the recommended action.
And as the newest member of EDFC board, I will second the motion.
Okay, and I forgot to get public comment.
You did.
Oh, I did? Okay. All right, so we have any other comments from the board? Okay, let's vote by the button.
Motion carries unanimously.